I didn't know I had an eating disorder because I was told men don't have eating disorders. So in 1994, I went into a rehab center. No longer exists, thank God, because the people that created it, a lot of damage to people. I go and I'm doing an interview, and this doctor looks at me and he's like, well, Mr. Henning, are you gay? And I said, no, sir. And he's like, well, why are you here? I'm sorry, it's an eating disorder program. He goes, Mr. Henning, the only men that have eating disorders are gay men. Well, by that time, the research was that. So there was a huge stigma that men couldn't come out and talk about it. Men couldn't talk about body images. Men didn't have these issues. Now, I didn't realize there was mental issues with it. It was just my obsession with food, and I realized I learned that it started when I was younger because it satisfied and fulfilled everything. And then God gave me the trifecta: food, gambling, and sex. Vegas is like the Holy Bible to me, the Holy Grail. And so that made me realize that if I talk about it, people have asked me questions my whole life. Are you gay? No. Well, you look a certain way. You take care of yourself. You're not married. What's that got to have to do with someone's sexuality? It doesn't work that way. The stigma is you're a man. You shouldn't feel these things. Men still face this stigma. Stigma, pardon me. It doesn't matter your race, your religion, your culture, how much money you have. Maybe over the last 10 years, it's been more acceptable. Men are talking more. Men are allowed to. There are women that I dated in the past when they found out I had eating disorders, they're like, oh, that's not masculine. Well, who the frick said it was masculine? Or you're weak. I've had that said to me many times. You know, you're a weak-minded person because you have a mental health issue or you have the eating disorder. It just takes a little bit of restraint. Really? It takes a restraint. What I love about the addiction field is 99% of the people that are going to tell me what I need to do, behind the scene, they're doing what they shouldn't be doing. I think that's the way it is in life. Many people want to tell somebody how to live and what they've got to do. You go home, they've got their dark secrets. Like I really believe, and I know this, if people are smart, they're going to go to their deathbed with secrets no one will ever know. I know I have a few, never will ever share them with anybody in the world because they're mine. It's about the only thing I have. But that's the stigma that you're insecure, you think you're ugly, you don't think your body's decent enough, you don't think you're good at anything. And us men go through that. I don't care what anybody says, us men go through that. To this day, we have doubts. I have doubts. Another thing is, think about it. Women love compliments. Women feed off of compliments with each other. It's a great thing. Men need compliments from their significant other. Doesn't matter what your sexuality is, what your relationships are. Validation is nice at times. Now, there's narcissism, which is one thing you don't want to be around, but it's nice for people to validate you. And women should never fear of telling a man, hey, you look great. I love your clothes. I like your body. I love the sex. I love those things. Because every woman I've ever been with, those things that I'm just talking about, they like and they enjoy. If you're saying because it's true, not just to say it, a lot of people want to hear things just to make them feel good. Now I've learned that I'll look at you in the past. If you complimented me on the way I'd look, I'm like, what a fucking loser. This person's a liar. I don't want anything to do with them. So now I realize, okay, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But the reality is that's their opinion. So I've learned that I have to just really slow down the negative thoughts in my head, because then I'll interpret what anybody else says to me and it's negative no matter what it is. So that's how it's dealt with at this time.
Number 8, how has your mental health influenced your relationships with others?
It's been an amazing journey. It's brought more people into my life that are like me, more people that know what I'm dealing with and I know what they're dealing with. It's opened up the doors for work that I do. It's helped me to slow down with my own craziness. And it's been a gift. Like I tell people, I take care of myself physically. The reality is I'm blessed that God gave me the mental health issues He's given me because it's brought me into the field I'm in. It's allowed me to work in what I do. It's allowed me to become an expert at one thing, the utilization review that I love to do because I look for things nobody else will look for, because my job is to make sure who's ever coming into treatment gets as many days in treatment that they can. So I know how to do from the medical to the clinical. And people say, well, you're not a doctor. You don't need to be a doctor. You got to have common sense and a little bit of creativity. So the problems I have, they're a gift. I'm blessed to have them. Many things I've done in the past, horrific things in the world, horrific things to people. I have not one regret. And it's just the way it is. But what I go through on a day-to-day basis is a gift to me. Not a fun one, not one you want to keep opening, but it's a gift.